Father God, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for these gifts. We thank you for your glory. And in advance, we thank you for the greater. In Jesus' name, amen. My royal people out there in Facebook land, Instagram land, TikTok land, Spotify land, and YouTube. What's up? What's up? Hey, I like to call y'all my G fam. It's good to have y'all back with us again. I thank you so much. But before I say another word, I am asking of you, please subscribe. Don't just watch it, subscribe. Don't just share it, subscribe and share it. Help us to build our numbers. The thing about numbers is that when we build our numbers, it puts us to another level that allows us to have access to do greater, right? So it allows us to do greater. And so we're going to hit on some of that later, but please make sure you subscribe. Welcome to another episode right here in season 3. Well, we're in season 3. Season 3 of Living Single with Dr. G podcast. We like to call this Talk Therapy. We ask all of our guests the very same questions. Some of them are married. Some of them are divorced. Some of them are just hanging out, chilling, coupling along, single and searching, single and satisfied. Some of them single and praying hard. Wherever you find yourself, this show is for you. All of my guests are not necessarily single, but they're dropping nuggets for those who are living single. They're dropping nuggets for those who are setting better relationship goals, who want to be more intentional about their relationship goals. I have been evolving myself right here as host, just receiving and dialoguing with all of our guests. Without further ado, it's going to happen again right now. We got another guest that's going to really just come in an authentic, organic, transparent way and dive into the same 10 questions that we ask everyone. You all know in the background is Aspire, who aspires to inspire, our producer and our engineer, and we thank God so much for her. We're going to see her soon. But by the time y'all see this, we would have already had our reunion show, so we'll be letting you all know about that. All right, but by the time you see this, but God has just been moving so in a great way that we have not even concluded season 2, and we are now in season 3 recording. By the time you see this, it'll be different. It'll be November or December. But I'm just letting you know what God is doing, ahead of the game. All right. So, but listen, right now, my brother, my friend, my fam is here with us. I'm honored. I'm blessed to have him here. He is the host with the most. Now, we'll say that. We'll talk about that later. But give it up to no other than the king himself. Bro, tell everybody who you are. Tell them how old you are and your relationship status.
All right. Well, most people know me as Dwayne. My name is Dwayne Hart. I own a business called DNS Manicured Lawns. So we gave that business to the Lord. Right now, the business is in its own little transition. We also are content creators. So with our business, we also produce our own commercials for our business. We don't pay nobody else to do it. We do it for ourselves until we can get to a place where we can hire people to do those things for us. I'm 42 years old. Yeah, I just turned 42 last month. And I've been married for 19 years, going on 20 in April. April 30th of next year will be 20 years. Yeah. I have four children with the same woman.
Come on now, 4 babies with the same mama. That's a rarity in itself. That's a good way to start off right there. That's a good rarity in itself.
I'm in college right now. Yeah. So
okay. Awesome.
You know, me and Eugene, Yeah, we've been on each other for almost what 16 years. We came out of the same church.
Yes.
I'm glad to see my brother is growing from what I seen him 16 years ago. It seems like a long time, man. Time flies really fast. And I'm glad to
Mhm.
see my brother excelling and what he's doing, man. So I just want to give you kudos and shouts out to you and your producer, man, because you're doing a fine work, man.
Listen, man, I appreciate you being a part because you're helping the work to be done and be done as well as it is. You know, those of you, it's no one man by himself. And at the end of the day, all glory belongs to the Lord. So I thank you so much. As you see, I got on one of my worship wares, my praise paraphernalia. Um, this right here, I believe, is over 16 years old. It's older. It's TGBG. TGBG. Can you see the words?
I can see him, brother.
To God be the glory.
Uh,
To God be glory. To
to
God
God.
be the glory. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and
Amen.
many,
Amen.
many times, yeah. So I have different, things and right now I'm in this mode that I'm going to be creating a lot of things that that God give me. I'm gonna be putting them on putting them on garments, and I'm gonna be wearing them. Today, I saw a brother who appeared to be homeless. I don't know, but and I'm gonna share this picture with you because I took the picture. He sat down. I saw the back of him, and on the back of his Sean and I was just talking about this last night about elevating worship wear, and I was showing him all the different hats and shirts and stuff I have made. Um, and so this guy today, on the back of his shirt, his jacket, Marty saw it said, "Oh man!" On the back of that thing it said, "Never give up." And so I took a picture of
Mm.
zoomed up. I said, "Oh my gosh." And as I was sharing with Sean last night, I said, people we don't get to dialogue with or say anything to, but as we have worship wear on, they'll see it from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple people see it, and whatever it's intended to do, God gets glory. I was around people today. They knew I'm like, hey, I'm a walking billboard for the kingdom. And
Right.
and the other
Amen.
day though,
Amen.
and the other day I was wearing the shirt. So I'm gonna be wearing what we're branding for Kingdom here, Living Single, or something that God has placed in me to create. But anyway, I love you. I love your family. Recently, y'all had us at your house. You hosted. I thought it was just going to be, brothers gathering, and we, have a little something, little snack, whatever like that. And then you pull out the grill, and we're playing basketball, and then you're like, wait a minute. Take some of this meat home, man. When you come here, you eat here and you get something to go. I was like, what? You laid it all out.
Amen. Well, yeah, we
You
have
say,
kickbacks. We do kickbacks. It'd be twice a month on Saturdays. We're gonna have another kickback coming up. So, brother, I want you to come. You actually get the menu. So what we do when we do kickbacks is really for singles in Christ and couples in Christ. We want people to bring their children here with them, as well as we're trying to set up the entertainment area for the women and the entertainment area for the men. And the men will probably be playing football and basketball with the kids as they're getting served. So the whole point of the kickback is for folks just to kick back. You've been running all week. Your mind has been running all week. You've been worried about this and worried about that, and you just need a place outside of your own atmosphere, into a place where it's comfortable. You can relax. You could chill out. Uh, we charge $25. The $25 is you see how much food you got, right? We start you off with an appetizer, all right, and then we cook a meal. You actually get to see your food being cooked, and we want you to take a meal home with you. Because we don't know if you're gonna run into somebody. We don't know what somebody's lifestyle is. We don't ask those type of questions. If you're invited to the kickback, somebody wanted you to come and see how kingdom people really chill out. And then there's a simple rule to the kickback. It's just, hey, whatever's done at the kickback stays at the kickback. We don't want nobody if they share something personal because they was looking for advice. We don't want nobody going out there and talking about what the person was talking about at the kickback. If you come to the kickback, you just kick back. Just kick back and chill. We may have football on, basketball, whatever. The only thing you just helping us out is with the food, and I thank you, G, for bringing the plates and all that. And I sit on about an acre of land, so uh, as the kickback start growing, we're gonna start putting like stuff out in my backyard. So it'd be like a camp. So one kickback might be a campfire. You get what I'm saying? Where we all just get around, get the fire right, let the kids roast more marshmallows and all kind of stuff. So that's one thing that we're trying to do for the community because we have a lot of people moving into our community that don't have any family. So
Well, let me
the only way that go ahead, G.
no. What I was gonna say is let me do this. Is that is so it's open for anyone who wants to come.
Yes, sir. So G, like if you have some people that you want to bring, cause
Okay.
and you want to bring them, it's just $25.
All right.
They just
Okay.
have to meet out with the food. Everything,
Right.
yeah. And then you can
Okay.
bring
Okay.
as many people as you want. When I send you out the menu, I probably send you out the menu Thursday. Just tell me how many people that you're bringing. And if
Okay.
those
Okay.
people want to bring somebody, just I just need to have a head count. So I don't want to run out I want to run out of food at the end of the night, not at the beginning.
Well, the reason why I'm saying is because you're bringing it all here, and so I want to make sure the audience know we're just not talking among ourselves and invite that they might want to know they want to be invited as well.
Yeah, they could come by. They could come by if they don't want to chill if they don't want to kick it at the kickback. They can come by and grab a plate. The food to be cooked.
Okay.
The food is cooked to
Okay.
order.
So y'all
So
hit me
everything.
up. Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes, y'all hit me up. I'll let y'all know how to do it. So we're gonna be doing it on a regular, and we'll go from there with that. So we're gonna kick back into these and kick back and dive into these 10 right here and see what we can cook up in this dialogue right now. You see how I use that? See what we can cook up. Yeah,
Yeah, like
but
how
now
you threw that in.
I appreciate it, like I said, and we was about to bring some salmon, some meat and stuff, and you sent another text and no, just bring the condiments and some drinks. I said, okay, we do that. So it was good. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Listen, the first one tonight is and this night here, I don't know when you are gonna be watching it or listening, but red flags, red flags, red flags, red flags. What are some red flags you would tell anyone who's living single or set in relationship goals, red flags that you would tell them never to ignore?
Uh, if we're talking about young men, make sure you find a woman that's moving in somewhat of a vein that you're moving in. Um, you really want a daddy's girl. Most men don't want a daddy's girl because a daddy really teaches his daughter about what type of men she should watch out for. Um, she's gonna be a little bit more stable uh in her thinking. Not saying that she's not gonna listen to what her daddy say all the time. When something comes awry, the first person in that girl's life that introduces her to a relationship is a man. So it's an opposite. A girl should lean towards her father and a boy should learn from his mother. Now, if he's a mama's boy, the girl gonna have a problem off the rip because that means she got to fight for his attention between him and his mama. When you're married, Scripture tells us if we go back into Genesis when Adam said, "Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood," I call her woman, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit. And he said that you separate from your mother and father, meaning that once you find somebody that you committed to being in with your life, your mother and father do not exist no more. They just become grandparents. You have grandchildren, they become grandparents. And they're still teaching in that because as a grandparent, you're supposed to, I'm not at a grandparent stage. I can only give you what I seen my grandparents do. My grandparents realized they made some mistakes with my mother and her brother. So they did their best to ensure that the next generation they didn't carry on that mistake.
So what are the red flags that for them to look for to make sure not to ignore?
Okay, so here's one red flag. If you're a brother in Christ,
Uh-huh.
stay out the street. Find you a church that has a lot of single women in it, and make sure that they're taking the classes that you're taking. So for a single man in Christ, the streets ain't where you're supposed to find your wife. You're supposed to find your wife in the same vein as where you're going. So if you find a church and she's at the church and you're taking single ministries at the church and she's doing singles ministries at the church, there should be married people, married ones coaching y'all, meaning that they should be taking y'all out, showing y'all the right way how to go about building a relationship. Because once a man says I do to a woman, all that other stuff that we talk about in the mainstream world, that goes out the window. You are stuck to God's law. You just stuck to God's law. He said he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains blessings from the Lord. So if you set up there and you found you a wife, the blessings of finding someone that you can grow with comes from God. So my red flag would be, brother, you can't find no girl in the club.
Okay, okay,
Stay
okay,
out the
okay.
club. You
All
ain't gonna
right.
find
Okay.
women. You ain't gonna find a good man at the club either. So
Right,
one of
right,
the
right.
things, stay out the club. Find somewhere that y'all can grow. And
Okay.
I say that personally because when I met my wife, I met her at work. Yeah, I met her at Wendy's. I got fired from my one job, and then I ended up going to Wendy's, and I met her. And then our first date, we went to church. My daddy told me take her to church. They was having revival that night. I took her to church, and my church family met my wife.
Wow. Awesome. 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 That was the first date.
That was our first date, our very first date. I was getting ready to
Come
go.
on
I was
now.
getting ready to take her out. I was getting ready to take her out. My dad was washing his BMW, and he said, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going to pick Monita up. We about to go on a date." He said, "Well, if you're going on a date, you need to take her to church first."
We're
And I said,
going
"Yes,
on a
sir."
church date. You're talking about a church date? Yeah, girl. Church date? Oh, we're going on a church date. All right. Okay. Okay. Listen, I'm already seeing I'm gonna do things different with you tonight. I'm gonna shift. I'm gonna shift. I may not ask all the questions, and I'm gonna shift some of them around. The uh, I know you have narratives with everything, so I want to make sure and get that in as well. But I love that first date. That if you are a believer, I love that first date. That first date being a church date. I like that, and then I also like the nugget you was dropping there as it relate to red flags. That if you find somebody who they seem to be all about the club, you know, and you're a believer and they're all about the club, or that's not your bag, that's a red flag, and you might need to go the other way because Until they get that club bug out of their system, you're gonna have to battle that club bug. Uh, yeah. What do you think makes it hard being single in today's society? I mean, we knew we came up at a different time. Culture has changed. In today's culture, with the way things are, what do you think makes it hard being single?
Well, folks are bombarded with too much stuff. Like most of our people right now come from single family homes. It's a larger group of more single family homes than it is fathers and mothers, because sometimes it ain't the father, sometimes it's the mother, sometimes it ain't the mother, it's the father. So those kids are stuck in a situation. So most of the time it's hard for a single to find somebody because they recognize some baggage they already have. So when they see a person that I can use this one. I knew a girl that used to get abused by a man. Right now, this is before Christ. This girl used to get abused by a man. Man used to talk bad about her and everything. Right. Somebody found something good about that girl. And we didn't know that her brother didn't stay that far away from her. And when it got so bad, she finally told us she had a brother, because we were about to go do something to that dude. We really about to go do something to that dude. And she called her brother and he came and got her. And this dude took a shoe, just a shoe, one shoe. Right. She went back to get that one shoe. Now we in the streets, we could have bought her whatever shoe she wanted, right? But she went back for one shoe to get her butt whooped again. So we were like, well, if she want to get a butt whooped, she's just gonna have to get a butt whooped, because we done did everything we could to help her out.
She went back to get those stilettos. She went back to get her stilettos. Huh?
It don't even know what kind of shoe it was. The man held one shoe. That shoe was so important to her mind that she was gonna go back and get a butt whoop and get that one shoe. One shoe. She had the other sneaker. He had the other sneaker. Look, it's hard. It's hard out here for singles, because I look on social media all the time, and you have guys and girls that are not qualified to be telling folks how they should conduct themselves as singles. For a young man, if you're single, you'll get to your work, build something. If you build something, the women will come. There's a slogan I went by a long time in my life. Men will always lose money chasing women, but you'll never find a loss in women chasing money. Meaning that, brother, you don't even have to say much. You don't have to look how society tells you you're supposed to look. Just be a doer. Go out there, build yourself up, get you a house, get you an apartment, furnish your house, furnish your apartment, know how to manage your money, do this and that. A lot of singles have a hard time, because when they go on a date with somebody, that person wants the whole world in one day, because they're not expecting it to you again, because that's just the mindset. We in a microwave society. So if a woman goes out on a date with a man and he takes her somewhere, here's another thing that brothers and sisters should watch out for. If the person that you deal with only knows McDonald's, right? And you take them to Benihana's, right? Don't get upset if they don't have a Benihana's mindset. because they still all they know is McDonald's. You never took them to Benny Hunters. You should have to Red Lobster, something that is familiar to them, and it just showed them a good time. Let Benny to in I would require any person before you make a decision with a person to be friends with them for 90 days.
Wow. That, yeah. That's a whole different mindset. Somebody McDonald's mindset is a whole lot different than being honest. And when you take time to have a conversation, when you take time to court, as they would say in the old days, or date before you actually make a commitment to a relationship, it gives you opportunity to see who you're with, because you can't get all of that in one day. You can't discern all of that in one conversation. Take it slow, take your time, so they can see where you are, and you can see where they are as it relates to, I mean, anything in life, sometimes dress code, lifestyles, all this stuff. These things can create a problem in relationships. So what you're saying is people need to take their time so they can see, so they won't be expecting somebody to be on a level that they're not. But if you take time and observe and absorb, you get to figure out who you're dealing with. They get to know who they're dealing with.
Right.
Okay. Listen, you already hit a little bit on the role of a man in a relationship, the traits and the expectations of a man. Are there any more expectations or traits that a man should exhibit? And then also, what are some traits that a woman should exhibit in a relationship?
If we're talking about kingdom people, the first thing a young man should be introduced to is Proverbs. Proverbs will teach a young man the do's and don'ts, because we gotta be able to show wisdom out here. You can't always just use have you ever heard you book smart but you street dumb? Uh, most of the people out here are so smart that they're street dumb, meaning that you can't even see the snares and traps before you even walk up on it. So I tell young men to read Proverbs, meaning that if a person say, "Hey, come, let's do some evil," hey, they're not gonna say evil, but hey, bro, we about to go pull this lick. Hey, we about to go run up on somebody. You get what I'm saying? Now you don't need to be in that situation. It's the same thing for young girls. Proverbs 31 is the best illustration of the last woman. From the beginning to the end. Many women talk about the Proverbs 31 women, and I'm not judging anybody. I can just see the characteristics of a Proverbs 31 woman. I know one woman in her late 70s, and her children are taking care of her, and she's a blessed woman. And that's what a blessed woman is. When your children can come back, when you reach a certain age where you just can't do it no more, and your kids step in and say, "Hey, mama, don't worry about nothing. We'll take care of everything." The community will say, "Hey, I heard there's some things going on with your mom. What can we do to help her? Because she has blessed us so much in the community because she worked." A proper 31 woman has to work, just like a man has to. See, there's no cop out for a man in the Bible. That's why a lot of men don't want to read the Bible. There's no cop out for you in the Bible. If you, the Lord put specific things. He said in the beginning, when he had Adam, he said it's not good for man to be alone. Adam watched all the animals have a mate, and the Lord wanted to show him something, and then he gave him a mate. And then he told Adam, name them, call it what they're supposed to be, and I'm gonna say it. So as a man, we have no excuse. We have no excuse when it comes to a relationship. We really don't have an excuse. You chose the crazy, like my dad would say, you chose the crazy that you decide you want to deal with. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna deal with somebody and something. Not every
Right.
relationship is gonna be a Paramount movie. Not every relationship is gonna be a cartoon fantasy. Not every
Okay.
relationship is gonna have ups and downs. It's and flow. And as a man, you got to be able to maneuver. You may an older man told me one time, he said, son, he said, the thing about a man when you have a wife is she's always going to change. The things that she liked today, she may not like tomorrow. The things that she liked tomorrow, she may not like them a year from now. You're always going to have to evolve. Meaning that, okay, we're simple. Men are simple. We like our football on Sunday. We like our basketball teams. We like our sports. We spend time with our family, and then we want ourselves time. We want some time to ourselves. We want to be able to hang out with the boys. Uh, we'll do everything we possibly can do to keep that lifestyle that we like intact. Meaning that we'll work extra hours. We'll get the overtime just so we can have our time with our boys, because that's how we sharpen one another up. And the same thing for the women. You have to have good women in your life. So if you're a single woman, you hang with singles, but if you're dating, you need to hang out with girls that are dating. Like, so the person that you're dealing with needs to have friends, and then she needs to have friends so that all their friends can mingle together. So you're not stuck alone, making sure that you don't make a mistake. You're with your people, and if
Right.
you they hold you accountable, if they hold you accountable, then you may have a higher success rate in your relationship.
Okay. 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 I like that. I like that. I like that. And that has to also do with just having small groups that you're connected to. Iron that sharpens iron. Being connected to people who are
Mhm.
like-minded, so they can help you.
Right,
They can not
right,
only help you, they can
exactly.
understand you. You can understand them. They can understand you. You need to have
Mhm.
a village of people that you can connect with, understand each other, like you were saying with your kickbacks, confide in each other. Have that safe place. So that's good. I like that. I like that. What are
Mhm.
some? I'm gonna just add these. These are gonna be my last two right here. They kind of deep. They kind of deep. Well, based on the way you bring them. Um, What are some unrealistic, unreasonable, and unfair expectations that single people have of each other? You're just dating, you're single out here in this culture. What are some unfair, unrealistic expectations that you see that they have of each other?
So one of the things I see on social media, and I'm talking about the big names out there, we won't have to mention them, but most people will know if I say certain things. One of the things that's unrealistic is beta male versus alpha male. You're a male, just period. You're a male. Some people observe and they don't speak. They watch so they can see how they can help a situation. Some people are just verbal. There's no such thing as what you're going to bring to the table. First of all, if you're going to get in a relationship with somebody, you first have to have your own table. That person has to have their own table. All right. Then when y'all get married, if y'all get married, all right, then those two tables gotta go. So now y'all gotta buy a new table, meaning that y'all gotta bring everything that you bring in the house to the house. So her paycheck comes to the house. It don't come to him. His paycheck comes to the house. It don't go to her. It goes to the house. This is what you're living in. The first order of business is to merge everything. Okay, if she's out there, the one thing I see a lot of singles, they wait too late to find them a mate, because they done got so engulfed in their career, in their lifestyle, that they're so selfish they don't want to give that up. And that goes for male and female. uh if you
Did you say male and Gmail?
No, I said male and female, male and female.
Oh, okay. I think
But
you said Gmail. Okay, okay.
uh, you have to be realistic. I talked to a sister one time. This was one of my homegirls, and I was trying to talk with her and try to tell her, stop. You dropped a man. Now you trying to find another man. And all the men she was dealing with had the same trait. So I like, this is what you attract. So how hard will it be for you just to be by yourself for 5 months? You have your own place. She had her own place now, her own place. All right. She get mad because she giving dudes money that's still living with their mamas. She get mad. She giving dudes money that ask her for money. Now they supposed to be in relationship. She find out they got a whole nother situation going on. Now they taking your honey hole. And that's what I call it. They take your honey hole and pollute it. So, and I told her, I said, all right, since you've been giving yourself away to so many men, what are you going to give to a husband? Because you talk about you want to have children and you want to have a husband. I said, what you gonna have to give to him? You out here giving yourself away. You just giving yourself away with no ring on your finger. Uh, it's funny that our young ladies listen to married women try to act like they're single in the entertainment industry.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they telling you to throw it in a circle. They telling you to throw it in a circle. They telling you they got that walk. They telling you they got this. They telling you got that, and they're
Wow.
married, and you're still single.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, because I just thought of two big names just now. I thought of two big names just now, and I don't need no kind of hives or nothing coming this way, so I'm not saying. But I thought of two big names just now who are married, and they cater
Uh-huh.
to a lot of people who are single. They are the voice for a lot of single people.
Right.
Or
And
I heard a bishop
go ahead.
say it again. No, go ahead.
I heard I there if you go back and you actually look at the newer generation and see how many of these rappers are actually married, and they cater to people that ain't married, and some women wonder why they can't find them a man, because
Wow.
one told you you better put a ring on it. Okay, y'all didn't hear that part, so she told you the
Wow.
surfboard. She
Wow.
told you that
Man.
broken love. You know what I'm saying? So
Man. Yeah.
and then you got the other one that says she don't cook nor clean, that she can do something good, and then her husband put out something. No, she clean. Yeah, she can cook. She just put that out there for y'all, because that's what y'all want. You know some
Wow.
things people want it for no reason. So we
Or
just
they
got
wanted because
to.
somebody else got it.
Right. Well, that's our today's culture. Um, I'd rather praise you for having something that realistically in my mind I feel like I can't have. And and there ain't no woman out here that can't find no man. The reason why some women can't find a man or a man can't find a good woman because they're the mirror of who they are. So if that man's trash, if that brother's trash, he's gonna have a trashy way about him. He's gonna talk to you trashy. He's not gonna really take care of himself. It's gonna be something that he really like, and he'll put more time in that than he will into the relationship. And the same thing about a trashy woman. Uh, uh, she always she do she just run her mouth, run her mouth, run her mouth, run her mouth because in her mind she feels like she don't deserve to have that man. So some women run men out of their lives because they feel like they shouldn't have them. They feel like they're not special enough to have that person because somebody in a you know I work with you. My wife came up. Uh, my wife was talked about by her family, put down, trashed down. Right now, the same people that talked about it ain't married. Matter of fact, it was in our wedding. They're not married. Uh, she was the first to be able to move away from her hometown. Uh, we done a lot of things together, me and my wife. So when I used to pull up to her house, this was like in the early what 99 2000. I had a push start on my 95 Nissan Altima. Yeah, they had remote control starts way back then. So I had a remote control start on my car with some beat and it used to bang. So I remember one of her aunts used to tell her, "Hey, you need to keep him because she's seen what I had and they know where I came from." And so um a lot of times relationship people miss out on a good thing early. Sometimes women settle for the second best. Sometimes that second best might almost resemble what the first person looked like. And the same thing with a man. It doesn't change. Uh, it really doesn't change because men and women do pretty much the same things. A man don't know how to treat a woman, won't keep a woman. A woman that don't know how to treat a man, he might stay around for a little bit until he find somebody that's going to treat him better. Then he gonna leave her to the side. So it just those things. Our society really have our people messed up, uh, and it's unfortunate that we don't have many more husband and wives with family because the kid. You, most people don't realize your children's first relationship starts with us. Whatever our children see, they either gonna emulate it or they're not. They either gonna say, "I aspire to do that," or they're gonna run away from it. They're just gonna. So if a young boy treats men harmfully, I mean he just treats men bad. He got it from his mama. If a young lady, if a young lady treats men bad and talk bad about men, she might have got that from her mama too. And not saying that men don't talk bad about women. If a boy dogs out a woman, I mean really just dogs her out for no reason, just dog her out. All he do is just dog women out. That's because he's seen either the men that her mother brought in their life or the father dogged the mother out like that. And
Wow.
so, you know,
Wow.
uh, one of the things that's why I recommend if you are a kingdom person, a believer, that you start in the church first, because there are so many ministries in the church that can help you unpack a lot of stuff that you have in your heart, that you have in your mind, that'll keep you from finding the right one to elevate you to elevate your generation, to elevate your lifestyle, to elevate your community, to elevate everything.
That's good. That's
Marriage
good.
by God is an elevation. Is an
Yeah, yeah,
elevation,
yeah,
meaning that.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I
Hmm.
was saying, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was it. That was
Yeah. Okay.
that's a good
Go
place
ahead.
right there as we shift into the next part because I love that you're admonishing people who are kingdom individuals to be sure that they're not just seeking anywhere, but that they are connected in the church in a kingdom place, in a kingdom environment, so that they can get what they need to continue to evolve, and be ready for a marriage. you know, the best place to find that is from people who are in the word, like you are, kindred mind, as opposed to you battling with someone that you know found in a club or out there somewhere, make sure they are in the church. And as you're saying, get involved in the church, and you'll find that the church is able to pour into you things that you need so that you can evolve. Um,
Hmm.
you know, being intentional. One thing that we said at the end of our show is being intentional about creating a better life for yourself. What you're saying is be intentional about where you're going, who you're hanging with. Be intentional about where you're searching for. Where you are searching for who you're searching. You know, that's pretty much what you're saying, man. And
Right.
because you want to be connected to people like you just said, who can elevate you. Everybody can't elevate you.
That's correct.
Everybody can't elevate
That's
you.
exactly correct.
Yeah, yeah. And that leads me to the last question right here. Um, um, which is the big. And let me tell you, I'm gonna ask this question first, and I'm gonna come back to that. The last question deals with self-awareness. I'm asking you how, and you pretty much dealt with this a little bit already. How important is it to be self-aware and transparent before pursuing a relationship with somebody? How important is it to be self-aware and transparent before pursuing a relationship with somebody?
Well, when we was in the streets, right? I'm gonna say it like this: when we was in the streets, we was taught so many different ways how you supposed to come at a person, right? So a woman told me one time, older woman told me, she said, in the first 30 seconds of the conversation, a woman knows she want to be with you or not. When she first see you, there's something about you that already got her attracted to you, meaning that she already wants you before you even open your mouth. Right? When you open your mouth, in that first 30 seconds is gonna let her know either she wanna deal with you or she don't. Because of what comes out your mouth. When I had girls before I got married, before I married my wife, right? I used to talk to her on the phone. We talk on the phone. I used to see her at work. I never really went and kicked it out of the house or nothing like that. I had another woman I was messing with. So I told her, I was straight up with her, and I told her, hey, I don't feel comfortable talking to you right now. Not that I don't like you. I'm talking to somebody else. And I don't want you to feel a certain type of way. So once I realize the relationship ain't gonna work, do you mind if I call you back? You know what I'm saying? So I let her know that she wasn't the first. She wasn't the first. I already was talking with somebody. There was something about her that was better than the person I was talking to.
You
So
number
I
two,
still want to
boo.
give that person
You
yeah,
number two, boo.
I just wanted number two. Yeah, she wasn't number two. She actually became the number one because what I did with her once she agreed to that. Now many women won't agree to that. Once she agreed to that, when we started dating, I introduced her to all my homegirls because I kicked it with a lot of women. Most of them I grew up with. Uh, and I introduced her to the most important ones to me at that time. So she met my homegirl. She met my other homegirl. She met a girl I used to mess with. She was still my homegirl because she still came and hang out with the homies because we all knew each other. So she was like probably like there was about two or three girls that could come to my house at any time. Because when the homies was over there, they'd come over there and kick it with the homies. So she met all of those. And there was one that she didn't like. And she made that very clear to me. It looked like
Okay.
you like her a little bit more than everybody else.
So
Then I had
okay.
to that. So
Okay.
she said that yeah, she had that she let me have the conversation in front of. She sat there was quiet and let me have those conversations. And then the one that she felt that was the most intimidating, she let me know. She said, "No, I really don't want you talking to her because it seems like y'all are a little close."
Yeah, y'all just a little too booed up for me. Too giggly for me. Yeah, y'all. No. Yeah. Hey,
Right.
but
So I had to honor that. I had to honor that. If I wanted her
she
to be in my life, I had
she
to
was
honor that.
aware of you. She was very much aware of what was going on. And women are like that too. They're like, wait a minute. Okay, that's cool. But I know something different about the way you was doing with that. Yeah, no, that got to go. You got to cut that. Yeah, go ahead, Mo.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
being transparent with a person is very important because there's some things. If there's some things that are deal breakers in your relationship, just be honest with the person. I tell girls before, and my wife was the first woman I dated. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was a manhole, so I didn't date
You
women.
was a man.
I just
What?
told them what I wanted, and I was a manhole. Yeah, I was a manhole. Before I met
And you
my
told
wife,
them
I was
what?
a
You told them
manhole.
what they wanted to hear.
She was the first woman I dated. No, I just told
Wow.
them what I wanted from them. No, I just told them what I wanted from them. If all I wanted was the
Wow.
booty call, that's what I told. Look, I ain't looking for no relationship. I ain't looking to be your dude. Look, I'd rather be your rebound dude. You just got out of a bad relationship. Oh, you need somebody to cover it up with you. Yeah, you can call me. I don't mind being that because all I want is
Right.
one thing and one thing only.
Right.
And if some said, nah, that ain't what I want. Okay, cool. On to the next one.
Right.
I was the on to the next one guy. If
Yeah.
you didn't give me the answer, I was on to the next. Because at some point, somebody got to answer. Somebody gonna say yeah to what I'm presenting. And
Right. Right.
so, in honesty,
That's
at
real.
least the
That's real.
woman knew. At least the woman knew what my intentions were. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
A lot of guys,
Exactly.
a lot of guys leave. A lot of guys and girls leave folks on, and the intentions aren't there. Um, a brother, I had a homeboy that left Savannah to move up to Atlanta because the girl had him believing that they was gonna have a life together, and then when he came up to Atlanta, he knocked on the door. Another dude opened up the door. You get what I'm
Oh.
saying? And
Oh.
yeah, and she acted totally different. So that
Yeah.
messed him
Yeah.
up mentally because this man
Yeah.
moved. He made a move, and thinking that he was
Ooh.
going to be with his kid.
Well, that's why it's not good to surprise some people, and be careful about the big moves that you make too. Sometimes it ain't good to surprise and pop up on nobody either, because something might pop off that you weren't prepared for, you know.
That
And
is right.
Yeah, that's real. But I love the fact of how you made mention that you were straight up and honest about what you wanted. And you know, hey, all I want is a booty call. That's all. That's all I want. You want to cuddle a little bit? We could do that, but I'm not looking for a relationship. And whatever you could say about that type guy, and now we have some females who say they're doing the same thing. But whatever you can say about them, they are being open, honest, transparent with you, you know? And or something like they call it, they're being hot, which HOT, honest, open, and transparent, you know? And so it's not that it's right or wrong, should be or should not be. It's the fact that they're being real with you. They're keeping it real, you know? And so looking at yourself as we wrap this up right here, man, let me tell you something. You done dropped some things tonight. You have dropped some stuff tonight. And I already know there's a wealth of more stuff that's up in there. But listen, to my audience, listen, this is my boy, this is my brother, my fan Dwayne. You can ask Dwayne something, and he may go here, because he got a lot of stuff, right? Like, he like, let me grab this, let me share this with him, right? And so I can relate to that. So, and he'll grab this, grab that. But you can believe there's some nuggets in everything he's sharing with you. Just listen. There's something to pull, something to glean from everything my brother got to say, right? So you know, I may throw out something, but when I throw it out, it's not coming back your typical way with something, you know, how somebody else may answer or whatever. You're like, I almost got to remind me of Jesus, right? You ask Jesus something, you go, you go here, but you better listen. He might use a parable or something. But there's something there. Listen. I love it. The oh my gosh, I love it. And I love that at the end, just now you're sharing that, man. There's some people who are like that. They can't be real about that. Oh gosh, I love it. The and sisters understand. Brothers understand too. There's some sisters like that, but understand. And then to just quickly, the story that you made mention of, I'm telling y'all, be careful about popping up on people. Be careful about making drastic moves because your emotions have gotten connected with somebody. You know, give yourself time. Give God time to show you what he needs to show you. Stop being so quick about it. You know, if it's real, if gold is real, it's gonna shine today and shine tomorrow. Just keep polishing it up. In the meantime, what you're doing is keep polishing it up. And you know, sometimes you gotta put stuff on layaway. Don't just go buy, put on layaway. You know, sometimes they're midway or layaway. So you know what? I've seen something else. I'm gonna get my money back off layaway or whatever. But had you went on and purchased it, that's it. Don't jump so quick. Take your time when you're living single. Make one of your relationship goals be to take my time. Old school cooking, be like, hey, we taking our time with it because they can be right. If you were to name two things about yourself, being self-aware, two things, no, well, just you can just name one. Just name one. One thing about yourself that that's wonderful about Dwayne. And then one thing about yourself that you're working on, that's a flaw. One thing that's good, one thing that's a flaw and you're still working on. What would it be?
All right, so
and I'm asking you this, and let me preface like this. I'm asking you this because I believe that everybody, before going into a relationship, they should know themselves enough, right? And so now they're able to see the person who's dropping the nuggets are there as well. They should be able to know themselves enough to know what's good about themselves and what they still need to be working on. Some people, one or the other, is difficult for them. Good for them to see the good in themselves. Good for them to, it's hard for them to find anything they need to work on. So anyway, what you want to preface with that? Where are you with each one of those?
Well, the one thing I'm persistent. That is one of my qualities of being persistent. Meaning that it's hard for them to make me give up. Because if I see the light at the end of the tunnel, I'm focused on the light. I'm not even focused on the tunnel. I'm not even focused on whatever's around the tunnel. I'm not focused on what was in the tunnel because what I Lord has already equipped me. I'm about to move fast. I'm just looking to the end of the tunnel. Uh,
So that's the thing that's good about you.
that's me being persistent.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing that's good about me.
All right, now
I
what?
don't
Now,
give up. I keep pushing that and working at it.
okay,
And
okay.
then the other part about me is I really don't like people. I don't like people. I really don't like people at all. Uh, so if the Lord put you in my life, if the Lord put you in my life, then that's the Lord working on me because people have hurt me so much since I from a child on up that I really don't like people. Matter of fact, I try to pray as much as I can because if you catch me before I pray, I might just bless you out the other type of way. There was a time when I was able to hold my tongue probably about half a year, and then somebody just had to get the tongue lashing because they wouldn't leave me alone. So that's the thing that I'm working on because I don't want to be around here cussing folks out all the time. Folks just gotta learn how to leave folks alone sometimes. Folks like to bother you when they feel like they can get up under your skin until you start unleashing on them. And I ain't even worried about putting my hands on you because if I keep talking to you, you might just start crying. So that's why I stay prayed up. That's why I stay praising. Because I don't have time. I don't have time for the foolishness with folks. I don't have time for you whining. I don't have time for you making excuses. I don't have time for you. I just don't have the time to hear. When I'm gonna say this over in. When I first started out in ministry as a young man, I sat there and I listened to grown men complain and whine about why they aren't where they supposed to be. And then when somebody is where they want to be at, trying to give them the directions how to get there, they're trying to tell the person, no, that don't work. Well, stop asking questions then. I'm with that with everybody. I'm with that with Christian folk. I'm with that with the worldly folk. Matter of fact, the worldly folk get it better than the Christian folk. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of get ticked off with the Christian folk because you in church all the time, praising and hollering, and then when somebody's trying to help you, you making the excuses not to do right. You making excuses not to do right. Every time it's almost like when Yeshua went up to the man and asked him did he want to be healed. The man said, I ain't got nobody to put me in the pool. Yeshua never asked the man, hey, do you want me to put you in the pool? Do you want to be healed? It's a yes or no answer. Folks don't even want to say yes or no. They just want to go around 285 and hoping that you'll drop them off on 20 to get them to 75. Instead,
I didn't come
I
for no
could have
pity
just dropped
party.
you off right there in Decatur where you needed to go.
Oh my God, I didn't come
So
for no pity
that's
party.
something I'm working on.
Hey, wait a minute. Are you sure you're working on it? That's because it seems like, hey, this is D. You sure you're working on it? Because it may be working for you. Instead of working on it, I think it's working for you.
I don't want, the one. I tell my children this. I tell my children this. I try to be really careful when I talk to my children on how the way I talk to my children. Because the one thing I told my children, I do not want to break you to get you to do what I ask you to do. Because I don't know what kind of broken you're gonna be after I break you. And it might take us a long time to remend something that I said to you that shattered you. So I don't want to be out here shattering people, uh, unawarely because they just don't know how to ask. They just don't know how. I rather you tell me, be straight up with me, and tell me what's going on with you, and then say, hey, do you really want to answer to it, or you just want to vent it out? Because if I give you an answer and you asking me for an answer, and you're gonna turn around and tell me this and that and the third, then you're wasting my time. Because you really don't want to move away from where you're at. You love being where you're at. You just complain about it. It's almost like I worked with a guy when I first moved up here to Atlanta, and all this dude did was talk about how much he hated this job, how much he ready to leave this job. All he talked about every day, how much he hated the job, right? So I just showed, and the dude was a real cool dude. So I just showed the dude how you supposed to leave a job. I found another job and I left the job. It was just that simple. If you
Right, right,
don't
right.
like where you're at, ask God to give you wisdom and show you how to get out of it. God gonna
So,
send you
so
some people around you that may not even be the people from the church. It might be somebody in the world
right,
uh,
right, right.
that has that has went through what you're going through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Has really went through what you're going through and lost it all, and they're trying to tell you, "Hey, brother, I see where you're going. Let me show you an example of what it looked like if you keep going that direction. Look at me.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
lost it all. I don't have no car
Yeah.
no more. I'm homeless.
Right,
I'm this and I'm that. Now,
right, right, right.
if the brother or sister can't see that part, then they're just there for their own demise.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's a good
You
thing there.
know, so pray for me so I don't be blessing folks talking about everything.
And that's a good thing there is
Are we still
because
there?
yeah, yeah. And that's a good thing there because um many times on this journey, it will not be quote unquote a kingdom person that God connect you to, but someone along your journey who's able to relate to you, and relate to where you are, pour
Hmm.
something into you. God will use a donkey. He'll use anybody to guide you, direct you, give you what you
Right.
need, and so we got to be open to understand and be discerning when God is sharing and God is speaking. Listen, man, this has been awesome. I already see, I'm looking forward to when we get together in person and all of us are talking and sharing in person. And when we just have even more time there, and we have each other to bounce off of, because the different guests, we're all coming together in person. We're going to do it our first time, but we're going to be doing it. It's going to be a repetitive thing, so that we can come and network and come and sharpen each other and come and meet and greet each other. If you, in the last 15 to 30 seconds, take 15 to 30 seconds, what would you like to share with anybody who is living single? What would you like to drop for anybody who's living single in 15 to 30 seconds?
Write down what you really want in life. Just write it. Just write it down and make it as plain as possible. Meaning, it might take you a whole diary. It may take you a whole diary to come up with the three things that you really desire to have in life.
So, man, it has been awesome having you as a guest here. And like I said earlier, you remind me of myself a little bit too, is that we got a lot of a wealth of knowledge and wisdom in us to drop and to share. And as you were saying, just taking that moment, that time, to just impart it into people and being connected to people who can sharpen you. And you may mention that you don't like people. You're working on that. And that people should be honored, really, to be in your presence, to be in your company. Because if that's one of your things that you're working on, that you're challenged with, it's big of you. You may not even know you're working on it, but it's big of you and your wife to have gatherings and stuff and to have people around you, right? Because that's working on that, and that's being intentional about being the person to help sharpen others, to pour into others, you know. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything you shared. I thank you much for just letting me call you fam, you know, and all these years we've had. I think it's been more than 16 years, but it probably, you know, it's right around there. Um,
It's right about there, cause when we moved up here to Atlanta, me and my wife have been married for about 3 years.
okay, okay.
So yeah, that was been uh 16. Cause me and another brother talked about, dang man, it's been 16 years we've known each other.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it don't seem like it's been 16 years, you know.
Well, sometimes it seems shorter and sometimes it seems like a lifetime longer, you know,
Right.
um, because of how deep it is, how close the bond is. But listen, man, we're gonna definitely be keeping up. We're gonna keep you abreast of some things that's going on with those of us who are here, the podcast special guest. I want to say to any of you who are out there, if you would like to be a special guest, dive into the same questions that we have here, please text us. Text the word special guest to 404 901 8591. Once again, 404-901-8591. Text the words special guest. And if you would just like to donate, be a partner of this podcast, you love what we're doing, you feel that it's vital for helping people in relationships, helping couples, helping singles. If you see any positive vibe to this platform, you know, any good, please donate financially to us, help us out. Zelle or Cash App at 404-901-8591. Listen, we're out of here. I want to thank Inspire in the backdrop, in the background, behind the scenes, our engineer, our producer for doing what she does and doing it so well with excellence. I want to thank you, Dwayne. I want to bless you, bless your family, nothing but increase, nothing but overflow, and everything that you are moving in, that you see this year to be greater than any year you have ever experienced, that it only gets better, that you go from glory to glory, that all your needs are supplied, and that you're lacking nothing, missing nothing, nothing is broken, and that you have a wealth of much so that you can continue to do the great that you're doing. That's what I speak upon you, my brother.
I receive it, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So to all of you, as we always say to you all the time, be intentional about creating a better life for yourself. And I hope this episode helped you in doing that. God bless you all. Love you much. Love you, my brother. You be good. Thank you too, man.
All
Thank
right,
you.
brother, man. Appreciate you
Thank
for
you.
having me on the show,
Yes,
man. Thank you, brother. And we'll
yes, sir.
talk.
Love you, man.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
my dog.